A beautiful young G.I. Jane mysteriously vanishes after a night of R&R at a bar near her Army base.
Her superiors knew that this wasn't a soldier that went AWOL.
And cops come to suspect foul play, theorizing that one of 3 men vying for the love of Private First Class Kelli Bordeaux may have murdered her in a jealous rage.
I thought it was Mike.
Kelli's pining estranged husband.
The first name I heard of was Justin.
Kelli's secret boyfriend.
I said to be afraid of Nicholas.
Her last admirer.
They broke it down in like a circle. So they said Kelli's in the middle.
23-year-old Kelli Bordeaux was a combat medic here in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
And her baffling disappearance would shock residents of Fayetteville, the quiet little southern town that Fort Bragg put on the map.
It's gripping because it is a young lady who is just starting out on life, and she's like any other 20-something-year-old who's gonna go and have a good time, hang out with some friends, and not a hint that anything could happen the way it did.
Making this mystery all the more compelling that Kelli was hardly your profile soldier. A former high school cheerleader and beauty queen whose good looks had always made her a magnet for male suitors, her older brother and sister were constantly having to fight off.
Boys were like trying to flirt with her. Oh, they'd pick her up and I'd just look at them and they knew, put her down. Like, don't touch her again.
And Kelli's gregarious, fun-loving personality also made her one of the most popular girls in her hometown of St. Cloud, Florida.
She would become friends with people and see the best in them instantaneously.
She just seemed like an all-American kind of girl who just enjoyed having a good time.
But Nancy McCleary, a staff writer with the Fayetteville Observer, says the petite 5'1" blonde was also as tough as nails.
There was a spirit about her that seemed independent, feisty.
That, along with the passion for adventure and a dream of seeing the world, is what made the military a natural calling for her.
She had went to college prior, but she wanted something more, I think.
A good challenge, a good opportunity.
Yeah, challenge for sure.
And Kelli becoming a combat medic also satisfied Kelli's desire to help people.
I mean, you're putting yourself on the line, trying to save others.
Kelli had been stationed at Fort Bragg for only a couple of months since completing basic training and boot camp. And her husband of less than 2 years, Mike Bordeaux, had moved with her from St. Cloud, Florida, the couple settling into an off-base apartment together.
But there were problems in their relationship, is that right?
Yeah, I mean.
They were young.
Yeah.
Well,
like
it was never,
young.
yeah.
Dave Marshburn, a private eye who conducted his own investigation into Kelli's disappearance, says the stress of adjusting to a new life in another state would put their marriage under even more pressure. With Mike unable to find a job and drinking heavily,
she just had enough of it.
the couple would decide to take a trial break from each other. Mike returning home to Florida and Kelli remaining alone in Fayetteville, where she knew nobody other than her fellow soldiers at Fort Bragg.
It's also a lot of trying to figure out your place in Fort Bragg and with your unit there and your company there and seeing who your friends are there.
But the private life of Private First Class Kelli Bordeaux was about to get complicated. For about a year, Kelli had been having an affair with a secret boyfriend named Justin Thompson, whom she'd met back in St. Cloud, Florida, before joining the military.
Do you think Kelli really liked Justin?
Oh yeah.
Sister Olivia says Kelli liked Justin so much, she had decided to divorce Mike, who had no idea his estranged wife already had a new man.
I think the plan was eventually, like, once she was officially on paper divorced, is Justin come and be there and see what the relationship can turn into.
But ironically, it would be during one of Justin's weekend visits to Fayetteville that Kelli would meet yet another suitor. Nicholas Holbert, who worked as a helper at a local bar called Froggy Bottoms, where Kelli and Justin had gone for drinks.
Nick gave her his telephone number and tried to befriend her. Do you think he was interested in her?
Oh, yes.
But P.I. Marshburn says Kelli thought of Nick only as a drinking buddy at Froggy Bottoms after boyfriend Justin had returned home to Florida.
Nick offered the week before to bring her back out there, and she accepted.
returning to Froggy Bottoms with him the following Friday night.
Right before she went out, she just said, "Hey, does this look okay?" and sent me a picture of her. And I was like, "Yeah, you look cute."
It would turn out to be the last photo of Kelli, who would never be seen again after leaving Froggy Bottoms later that night with Nick Hobart.
That last picture of her is haunting.
Next, Nick joins Kelli's estranged husband Mike and boyfriend Justin as persons of interest in her disappearance, but reportedly not the main one.
The police department's #1 person of interest, and I do know this for a fact, was the husband, not Nick.
If I didn't drink, none of this would have happened, ever.